how to make sweet pastry. And to make this recipe you will need 140 grams of unsalted butter, 1 egg, 30 grams of ground almond, 100 grams of icing sugar and 250 grams of plain flour. So the first thing you'll need to do is add the flour and the ground almond into a blender along with your butter, which should be at around room temperature and cut up into chunks. So just start to work these ingredients in the food processor and just pulse them together until it starts to look like fine crumbs. Next, add in the icing sugar and continue to pulse. The mixture will just get slightly finer. Add these ingredients to a bowl with your egg and begin to work with your hands. So you just need to rub together the mixture and compress it all together so that eventually it will form into one solid ball of pastry. Now the mixture will be quite sticky, so you can just dust your hands with flour. Now once you've worked your pastry into a ball, just stick it in some greaseproof paper or some cling film, wrap it up tight and stick it in the fridge for at least half an hour before you begin rolling it out. So when your pastry is ready to be rolled out, give your work surface a good dusting of flour and also put some onto your rolling pin just so that the pastry doesn't stick to it. Now the pastry is going to need to fit a circular tart tin, so start off with a circular lump of pastry and just begin to start rolling it out in each direction. Try just rolling the rolling pin back and forth, keeping an equal pressure all over the pastry so that it's the same thickness all over. Every now and again you'll need to flip over the pastry so that you can work it into a complete circle. Once the pastry is wide enough to fit over the tart tin, use your rolling pin to pick up the pastry so that it doesn't break. You can then lay the pastry over the top of the tart base. When this is done, smooth the pastry into the bottom corners of the base and then just cut away any excess pastry that's hanging over the top. Finally, lay greaseproof paper over the top of the pastry and weigh it down with baking beans or baking weights and cook in the oven for about 20 minutes at gas mark 4. And your sweet pastry tart base is ready to use.